things like that. There's I have a really, really funny story that I want to tell you guys, but I just can't because I'm on this live thing and it'll be on there forever. But there's another person that told me something that they did to play a trick on somebody that was like the most horrendous thing. And after we go off this, then if you want to know something really heinous, I'll let you know.
Just don't say names.
But no. I just saw Mike on there. That makes me happy. We miss you, Mike. Um, so uh, it's interesting when we think of like, why would we kind of prank each other and do things like that on the beginning of the year or the beginning of April? And then our theme for the beginning of April is actually renewal and this idea of like creating something new for yourself, you know? And everybody goes through a metamorphosis all the time. We're kind of always going through a metamorphosis on a continual basis. And I've been thinking a lot about this idea of like everything should change us. I may have talked about this last week, but so forgive me if I did. But I'm the older I get. Hi, Amalia, honey. So we save you a spot right up front. The older I get, the more I'm seeking. How do I say this? It's like I'm seeking the awareness of the difference in myself on a regular basis. It's like I'm more aware of what I don't know and how my own arrogance has tripped me up thinking that I know things, whatever that means. And then and possible teachers in my life, because everybody's a teacher, right? So possible teachers in my life that I've kind of maybe discounted or not paid attention to because in my own piety I thought I knew more than I actually did, and I didn't let a situation change me, you know? I didn't let an opportunity create something new inside of me. And for me to be different from like 15 minutes prior to that, or whatever that means, you know? And so in this month of renewal, that's my like deepest encouragement for everybody is to like, how can you let every situation change you a little bit? Like, how can everything leave a mark on you in some way that you can be cognizant of and reflect on it later? Even something as simple as going to the grocery store. And I think I may have mentioned this a long time ago, but Sprouts now, they don't give you grocery bags anymore, and if you forget your grocery bags, you have to pay 10 cents. I know that they've been doing this in California and Canada forever and ever, but in Arizona, it's kind of a newer thing. And then nobody bags your groceries anymore, right? Like you have to do everything in a self-checkout thing. And I find myself saying thank you to the person that's standing at the end when they're on their phone the whole time, and me leaving, I'm like, thanks. And then I'm walking away and I'm like, what am I thanking them for? I don't understand what just happened. I like did my own groceries. And I had that experience, and then I had to go to Trader Joe's right after that. So it was a great plug for Trader Joe's, I guess. But, and they like bag your groceries, and then I forgot something, and they're like, did you find anything? I couldn't find blah, blah, blah. And the guy was like, no problem, hang out. And he like ran and found it for me and came back, and I'm like, I felt like I had gotten a full body massage. Do you know what I mean? Going from like one situation to the next where it was like so much service and with a smile and like just crazy, And so that situation changed me and made me want to be a better person and care more about my interactions with each person that comes into the studio, So, and each person that I interact with as well when I'm out in the world, And so last funny story. I went to Costco for gas, and I went to go put my card in the thing, and somebody forgot their credit card in there. And so I went to the little attendant guy and went to go turn it in to him. And he jokingly said, "Did you make sure you filled up your tank beforehand?" And I said, "No." Like I was so confused, that he would have thought that. And he's like, "Well, I guess thanks for being honest." And so as I was walking away, I thought, oh, that's really funny. There is something to be said about like leading by example and the little quiet things that you would just automatically do, even without thinking about it. And then other people being shocked that somebody would do something, I guess, good, So these are the things that I'm talking about that we focus on for this entire month. Like each situation, how like I'm hoping that gas station attendant is like, there's really good people in the world. Do you know what I mean? And it's not all filled with douchebags. And isn't that lovely? And then it's like there's the other side of, me going from the contrast of one store to another. And, it's not like I was angry at Sprouts or anything. That's a lie. I think I was disappointed. Do you know what I mean? Angry would be too strong of a word, but disappointed, right? And but then like totally revitalized with like a whole hope in humanity because Trader Joe's still cares about their customers, And both of those situations, just everything always leaving an impression on me that I just really, really, really want to be as like positive of a force as I can be and leave a positive imprint on each person that I come into contact with. In my past life, I always say that past life, I used to do a lot of training for the Boy Scouts of America, as crazy as that is. And one of the things that we would do is we would talk about leave no trace. And so leave no trace principles are like a really, really big deal. And the concept behind leave no trace is wherever you go, you leave it better than when you first got there. So if you go to a campsite and you see that somebody like maybe put a whole bunch of fire pits all over the place or whatever the case may be, you, even if it wasn't your mess, you would clean it all up so that when you leave, nature is restored and better than it was before you got there. And Quentin and I just got back from a training for hypnosis, and the gentleman who was doing the trainer thing for that, he was talking about how he didn't use those words, leave no trace, but he did talk about how each interaction that he has with any human being, he wants to leave them better than when he first met them. And he's like adamant about that. And I thought that's really, really cool. Like that's what we can do, So anyway, so all that for us to focus on being the best that we can be this whole month. Yay. Okay. And in this room, we don't have to worry because we're all highly evolved beings. That's why we're all here. And so we know that we are so nice and kind and loving. And yeah, alrighty, we got it. Okay, so who's never meditated before? Just one? Okay, super cool. You'll catch on. Two. Okay, so you guys will catch on fast. Yeah. So who has not been here before? I feel like there's a couple faces. Okay, nice, cool. So thank you for coming. I really, really appreciate that. I love the fact that people take the time to drive here and come to an environment that maybe they're not familiar with and they're not really sure what it's going to be like. Is it going to be strange? Is there going to be something expected of me? And you're brave enough to come into a new environment. So I really, really appreciate that. So thank you. And I hope you find happy, warm fuzzies here for the most part, except for Pete. No, just kidding. He's the nicest man, gives the best hugs. So if anybody's in the need for a hug, he's the guy. Okay, so let's go ahead. What's that?
She's fucking hilarious.
So where'd Quentin go? Oh, there you are. Hey, you're in a totally different spot. So go ahead and turn the lights down. The back one's off and the front one's down. And then whatever you need to do for your body, okay? Because I'm not, like a purist on postures for meditation. I do want you to be comfortable. The main thing for me is that I want some stillness in your body. So whatever that means for you, what you can do to create stillness in your body without falling asleep, right? And so that's why I always suggest to people to keep their feet on the floor and the knees to the ceiling. If you can keep your hands on your belly, it's kind of nice because it just keeps an awareness in your body. And then for those of you that are seated, just go ahead and, it's nice to kind of pull your shoulders back, tuck your chin a little bit, raise the crown of the head to the ceiling, and then pull your butt flesh down into the bolster. So if you haven't done so already, just go ahead and let your eyes close gently. You can have your hands with your palms face up or palms face down. You can, if you're cold in here, then maybe sometimes it's a little bit nice to pull your hands into your lap if you have a feeling of more feminine energy in your body tonight, or the need for balancing of more feminine energy in your body. You can go ahead and take your left hand and put it underneath your right. And on the other side of it, if you need more masculine energy in your body, or if you have a feeling of more masculine energy in your body, you can take your right hand and put it under your left, whatever feels best. As you're settling in there, just maybe if you're seated, kind of like rock a little to the front and rock a little to the back, maybe rock to the left and to the right, to go ahead and grab that center point. Feeling your breathing coming in and out of your nose. Being aware of the rise and the fall of your chest and your belly. Check in with your jaw, check in with your tongue and your teeth. Teeth should not be touching, jaw should be loose, tongue relaxed. Checking in with those eyelids, making sure that they're not pierced shut, that they're just gently resting closed. And bringing your gaze point to where you think your third eye is, with your eyes closed. Maybe you're able to start being a little bit aware of the beating of your heart and your body, or the pumping of the blood throughout the body. And just picture or imagine, if you can, what it would be like to exist on like a blade of grass. Feeling very small. And feeling that grass all around you would seem like the Amazon forest or the redwood forest from your vantage point as you are on that little blade of grass. Can even feel yourself kind of walking down to the soil. Notice how tall and cool everything feels around you. And how much bigger everything feels around you. The world is kind of small from where you're at, not really knowing what's around you other than from the vantage point that you can see. And as we are able to pause in this breath, just imagine that the world's getting a little bit quieter, maybe even a little bit darker, but still so safe, feeling even more safe. And envision yourself being kind of wrapped around in a beautiful little chrysalis. And then the chrysalis becomes an even smaller world. And as that world is smaller all around you, feeling that protection, of this little world that you've created around yourself. Trusting that you are completely aware of all the things in the world. In your quiet, safe space. Now you can begin to picture or imagine Your little chrysalis is beginning to break open. It might feel like a struggle at first, because change is hard. And it doesn't feel comfortable. Notice how you feel bigger than you did before. There's something very different about you. As you're continuing to work your way out of the world that you thought that you knew. Something so different about you this time. Picture or imagine, if you can, that you're beginning to take flight. And you can look down at the grass that you thought that you knew so well. Trees that you never even knew existed. What it would feel like to have air guide underneath your wings and lift you higher. And this is a world you never even knew existed. Allow yourself to start to descend a little bit. Come to the edge of a bird bath so that you can see your reflection. And notice how beautiful you are. The magnificent colors. Like nothing you've ever seen. And going back to the grass. And laying down and looking at the sky. Feeling yourself take form one more time. Into the beautiful being that you are right now. Arms and legs. Hair. Eyes that can see. Lips that can speak. yourself to just take a moment to bask in the knowing of what you don't know. And the things that are waiting for you beyond what you think you know. And how much more beautiful the world is and you are when you let things change you. Being more aware of your breathing again. You can begin to bring just the slightest amount of movement back into your body. And as you feel more grounded in this time and space, you can begin to open up your eyes when you're ready. So see, we think that we know everything because we see everything from this like little teensy weensy perspective. And we forget that there's like this enormous world out there. And it's so huge. But it takes a little bit, you know. We gotta like take some effort.
I kept picturing a Bug's Life.
I know. I know. I'm a beautiful little butterfly. And you know, it's funny because I know you guys already know this, but like if you were to help a butterfly come out of its chrysalis, then the butterfly dies. And that's such an interesting metaphor for life, you know. We have to support one another and we have to kind of like love each other through certain things. It's really important. That's why we are so interdependent. Humans are very interdependent. But we can't take somebody's suffering from them. That's not okay. Like it really isn't. Because we take their suffering from them, then they don't grow and they don't expand. And they won't take flight. They'll never take flight. So it's hard. Let them have their change, you know, and don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to let life change you, because it will, and it'll be beautiful. It's always cool. It's always cool. Even things that are really hard are still really, really cool. So I think the hard things, you know, those silly metaphors that you hear, like whatever doesn't kill us only makes us stronger. It's very true. It's true. It just really blows in the meantime. And then you get through it and you're like, man, I can't believe how many things I learned. I can't believe how strong I am. I didn't know I could handle that. I didn't know that was, you know what I mean? And we forget because we're kind of in it when it's happening. But man, the growth that comes out of those moments, it's so cool. And then you see the world totally different, like 100% different. Okay, does anybody have anything that they want to share? I'm bad, I forget to ask sometimes, and then I run out of time. And everybody's okay? We all are little caterpillars with our little wings on our back now and ready to go and soar and fly. Cool. Okay, in the way of announcements, Christina Rich's class, the archetypal dance, is this Friday. I can't believe how quick that rolled up. And I think we still have some spaces. She put so much work into those. I know I do a big plug on it every time, but it is so cool. And I don't get a chance to go very often because I've always got something else going on, which is a drag, because the times that I have gone, I have felt so good. Like, it's amazing what it feels like, you know. Jason, you go to it. It's awesome, isn't it?
It's fun.
It's so fun. Yeah.
There's no shame. It's kind of dark in the room.
Yeah.
Be silly. And
Totally. Totally. That's what Chris and I, we were talking about, is just like, there's this thing, he said that when he was doing it, there was a moment where he was like, I feel like I'm in an 8th grade dance, because it was like Halloween, so she played Thriller or something like that. And he's like, I felt like I was in like an 8th grade dance. And he's like, I hated 8th grade dances. Like that, all that fear and all of whatever that was kind of came up for a minute. And then he looked around, he's like, oh, everybody's got their eyes closed. Like, nobody cares. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it's like, it can be, it's that moment. Yeah, it's cool. It is. It is. It's the best way to put it. Yes, yes. So,
No one cares though. We're just like, I'm an old school rave chick from
yes,
the 90s.
yes. Amen. Mr. We would have hung together, baby. Anyway.
Listening to Morrissey and Smith.
For sure. Oh, you have no idea what a crush I had on Morrissey. It was so just sad. Okay. Okay. All right. So, so that's that. We are closed on Easter. We have a really cool sound bath coming up on the full moon, which is the second Sunday or Saturday of the month. And Nancy, the 12th, thank you. Nancy and Caitlin will be doing that as a combined thing. They did that for us for our Christmas party, for our work Christmas party, and it was so cool because Nancy plays things kind of like more soft, and I want to use the word airy fairy, but that doesn't sound very good, but you know what I mean, like little, like you picture like little nymphs and butterflies and things like that. And then Caitlin plays like more primally, and somehow the way that they play together, whew, I'd never wanted her to stop, right? Were you there? No. Oh, that's right, you weren't there. That sucks. It was so good. So, you'll have to trust me. So it was really, really cool. It's so cool. So please come in and join us for that. And then I'm trying to think if there's any other big notable events other than the regular things.
The book club potluck.
Oh, that's right.
On that following day, the Sunday.
Yep. So Sunday, the following Sunday, then is the close up, wrap up for the Upanishads. So please come to that, even if you just read a couple little bits, just to kind of hear what everybody has to say, and it'll be fun because it's a nice potluck and everybody likes food. And I think that's it. Yeah. Sober Circle is the sobriety circle is on the second Tuesday, so it's next Thursday. Sorry, next Thursday. I just bumped my own class at 8:15. 8:15. So grab a calendar. There's calendars out there on the mini fridge. So if you don't have a calendar, make sure you grab it because it's got all the things on there like Reiki share and the kids yoga classes and all of some of the other things I mentioned. There's a bunch more. We have a Qigong class. We have for World Qigong Day, big special thing for that. So lots of stuff. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Good night.